South Africa, our land. A land of opportunity, but one where inequalities of the past still affect the prospects of the future. A somewhat fragile land, where the scarce resources required to satisfy present needs must still be balanced by the need for sustainable development. A land sculpted by a history of spatial segregation, oppression, and separate development. The historical impact of this is still reminiscent in the spatial patterns of our cities today. These are some of the challenges that need to be addressed. Effective spatial planning and land use management forms a key pillar of a solution to address these challenges. The Spatial Planning and Land Use Management Act provides a framework to address multiple laws and institutions and seeks to address the fragmented planning regime that currently exists to promote more harmonious and effective spatial planning and land use management. This is NOMSA, an ordinary person like you and me. NOMSA is the kind of person on whom our country is built. Strong, skilled, resourceful, and patient. She moved with her mother from a rural environment to become involved in the industrial engine that runs the economy of the country. She didn't want to move to a big city, but also couldn't be held back by the challenges faced by many in our rural areas. She needed certainty in her life, and the pace of change was just too slow. It is sad in Nomsa's case that her move away from family and friends and her place of birth did not really improve her lifestyle. An informal settlement on the outskirts of the city with unsuitable living conditions was the only place that they could afford to live in. She still found herself far away from any source of meaningful employment. She had to spend a large proportion of her meager salary on transport, a problem that is still faced by many like her. Her success hindered by a lack of opportunity for development, inadequate focus on the second economy, and laws that would not allow NOMSA to trade informally but legally. This is not a new problem. Since 1994, the government has put various programs, plans and policies in place to address some of these challenges. However, each was implemented in isolation and hence many were counterproductive. For NOMSA and others like her, SPLUMA provides hope. Hope that a planning system led by a focus on more effective spatial planning and land use management will address some of the challenges that we face as a country. SPLUMA provides a framework for this planning system, guided by a set of development principles and norms and standards. Spatial development guided by spatial development frameworks at national, provincial and regional levels, and land use management regulated by land use schemes and municipal planning tribunals at municipal level. It has taken 10 years with many challenges, but SPLUMA is now law. With its successful implementation, it will no longer be the poor who have to travel the greatest distances to work. It will no longer be the developers who dictate the shopping practices of local inhabitants, when a better alternative is to have a vibrant informal economy to create jobs where they are needed most. It will allow the design and development of infrastructure with an understanding of the dictates of the environment to radically improve service delivery and address spatial fragmentation. No longer will questionable practices be tolerated. One of the cornerstones of spatial sustainability is the harmonious relationship with our fragile ecology. SPLUMA promotes enhanced intergovernmental relations and further entrenches checks and balances at every level. The monitoring of compliance is both a national and provincial imperative. Municipalities have been charged with the responsibility to submit clearly thought-through land use schemes. These will see responsible land use management become entrenched at local government level. Each question raised is answered by not considering each problem in isolation. Is there sufficient capacity at provincial and municipal level to implement this framework? Partnerships with universities and institutes of higher learning will provide the skills, supplemented by training and development programs that will ensure that the capacity required to implement the Act will be created. The opportunities to transform our spatial environment are endless, but with opportunity comes responsibility. Under SPLUMA, all are accountable in their adherence to the law. Enhanced intergovernmental relations integrated with public-private partnerships to ensure that all applications for land use projects are subject to close scrutiny. SPLUMA is the overarching policy that can be used to unite the actions of governmental departments. At the bottom, it is the guidelines that are interpreted as unique solutions to suit local needs that will drive the implementation of more effective spatial planning and land use management. SPLUMA provides a vision based not only on what is desirable, but also on what is possible to preserve the environment, to accelerate the opportunity for economic development, to provide certainty that whatever is undertaken can never be ignored or undone, and to improve the lives of the poor. Most importantly, SPLUMA provides NOMSA and millions like her with a true level of expectation as to how she can feel rightfully included in the future of our country. SPLUMA, Spatial Planning and Land Use Management Act.